Assalamu alaikum to you. I thank you as you join us for the maiden episode of this program, Islam is Beautiful, a program aimed at letting you understand and appreciate the beauty of Islam and also make you a better Muslim. This program is divided into 4 unequal segments. The first segment is the chit chat segment where some of my sisters and I are going to be dissecting a particular phenomenon that's of benefit to you and I. The second segment is the close-up segment where we get an authority to corroborate what we have discussed in the studio. The third segment is a segment called the Read a Book segment where we recommend to you the beautiful Islamic literature to aid your understanding of the topic of discuss. And then we take you on an entertainment ride with a beautiful An-Nasheed, and then we'll move on to our last segment, which is the Did You Know segment, a segment aimed at letting you know some of the things we think you should have at your fingertips. This program at the end of every episode is aimed at letting you appreciate yourselves as Muslims and add value to you as individuals. My name is Salma Aditutu Lawal. Thank you for joining us again.
Fortunate is he who remembers Allah abundantly. Worldly distractions cannot mildly sway his thoughts of Allah and Judgment Day.
Today being our first episode, we are going to be discussing the phenomenon living Islam. What does it mean to be a Muslim? To do this chit-chat with me in the studio are sisters Shakira.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sister Afsa.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
And Sister Rashida.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alright, as we must all know, the first and basic condition of belonging to Islam is to have an authentic and sound creed. And this must be in accordance with the Quran and the Sunnah. Now, when we say live in Islam, Sister Shakira, what do you think a Muslim must depict to live Islam?
Inshallah, alhamdulillah, when you talk about living Islam, Islam is total submission to the will of Allah. And the Al-Quran, in one of the verses, says, Kul ino salati wa nusuki wa mahyaya wa mamati lillahi rabbil alamin, which means saying, my prayer, my sacrifice, my life and my death are for Allah, the owner of the world. In that case, your relationship in life with your parents, your spouse, your children, your neighbors, your co-workers, and even as a leader, it should should be according to the dictate of Al-Islam.
Now, these dictates, Sister Shakira, we know that as Muslims we should all have them at our fingertips. Well, you'll be surprised a lot of us do not know it. Sister Rashida, can you just emphatically give us 1 or 2 of these dictates?
MashaAllah. Looking at it from the definition of the word Islam and Muslim, both words come from the same root word, salama, which simply means peace. Now, living Islam means living in peace. To live in peace with Allah, our Creator, and to live in peace with ourselves and all creatures. Now, to do that, Allah says in the Holy Quran, Quran 33 verse 21, Allah says, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ لِمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو اللَّهَ وَالْيَوْمَ الْآخِرَ وَذَكَرَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا. Meaning, the Messenger of Allah is a most example for you, for any of you who hopes to meet Allah the last day and remember Allah much. Now, to do that, how is the Prophet an example for us? Allah says again in the Quran, Quran 68 verse 4, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلْقِ الْعَظِيمِ, meaning, verily, you are established on an exalted standard of conduct. What do we then mean by an exalted standard of conduct? It means to do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already ordained on the Prophet to do. And the Prophet now says, Allah is good and He accepts only goodness. So that means that goodness is what we mean by living in Islam. To live Islam means to do good things, to do the good that Allah enjoys on us as Muslim. That means doing our fara'id as best as we can, and to do good to our neighbors, to our family members, to our co-workers at work, and every other thing around us.
Okay. There are times we do good and it seems to the other person like bad. Now, how do we establish the fact that good is good? Sister Afsal.
Alhamdulillah. It's obvious that when you say good, there are the things you will do and be proud to do, the things you will not hide to do. It doesn't have to be things that are written out. It doesn't have to be things that you peep out and say, okay, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. They're just things you're comfortable to do. They're things you're happy to do. They're things you're proud to do. They're things while you're doing it, you're glad everybody sees you doing it. Then the other way around, when you say something is not good, first thing is basic. As a human being, when you're doing something that is not good, you don't want to show it. So that's basically what clears out good and bad. But alhamdulillah, Islamically, you're guided. You have books, you have the Quran, you have the hadiths that guides you as a Muslim. And you have ways of the Prophet in the hadith that tells you, this is how the Prophet does this, this is how the Prophet does this, this is how the Prophet does this. So if you want to be good, you follow those injunctions as strictly as possible so that you don't have outliers. And that's basically just what's good to do as a Muslim.
MashaAllah. Talking about the hadith that you have just mentioned, a lot of times we have heard stories during the time of the Prophet where some of the things that he took in that would be regarded as being done in this present day, he took them in. Can we regard those things as being good? For example, there was a story that he would conceal his pain. He would conceal his hurt so much that as an individual today, you know that you could kill the person if that happens. Now, living Islam, would it mean that if we are not able to do it the way the Prophet ﷺ did it, we are not Muslim enough?
MashaAllah. We do know that the Prophet ﷺ didn't live alone. He lived with people. He had his wives, he had housemaids, he has neighbors, and one of the people that lived with him, like an adopted son, let's say, once told the people that all the time I lived with the Prophet, he has never for once spanked me or say something bad about me. Does it now mean that the person talking is a perfect human being? Absolutely no. It just means that the Prophet knows how to handle this kind of behavior. We should all know that no one is perfect. So as Muslim, you are related with people with that pre-mindset that, you know, this person is going to offend me, this person is going to do something I don't like, but then you're looking for a balance. You're looking for that situation whereby you can all show that you are respecting the person and the person is respecting you, and that is around living in good, showing goodness, showing what is good, and accepting that people can be wrong, they can be bad, they can do something wrong to you, but you are exercising that patience to show goodness. I think that would mean living Islam.
What you have just said has really established the fact that Islam is indeed beautiful. Goodness is not peculiar to anyone or any human being. Goodness is what you know that you're doing within yourself, and it is that thing that also will determine whether or not this person is a Muslim.
So far from you, yet to me you were always so close. I wandered lost in the dark. I closed my eyes to all the signs you put in my way. I walked every day further and further away from you. Ooh, Allah, you brought me home. I thank you with every breath I take. And alhamdulillah, give it to me. I never thanked you once. I was too proud to see the truth and prostrate to you until I took the first step, and that's when you opened the doors for me. Now, Allah, I realize what I was missing by being far from you. And Alhamdulillah.
Allah. You corroborate that, Sister Rashida. Let us assume that if living Islam is total submission to the will of Allah. Now, do you think that I can have a dream that is contradictory to that statement?
Well, to get the mercy of Allah, to enter Jannah, you need to meet up with those requirements. Yes, as best as we can. Just like at work or in school, we do not all graduate with the same certificate or with the same level of first class. Or, okay, you are all like working at the same level at your work. We have a different level. And the only thing here is this: you're allowed to work in a place as much as your boss or whoever is in charge, the management could see that you're putting in effort to grow. Same thing with Allah. It's not saying, okay, Sister Salma, today you are perfect. You've done your Islam very well. You've prayed, and then you've even given out zakat. You've helped someone, your neighbor. Maybe you share your food with them, and then Allah is not going to require the same thing from me. Maybe I'm not at that level, but what Allah wants is that I can also strive. Every day I'm adding to what I've done yesterday. I'm trying to improve. That improvement, as far as showing goodness, that is what Allah is looking for. May Allah help us.
Ameen. Mashallah. Inamal aman biniya. That's a common, I think most of us say. Now, with what you have just said, Sister Rashida, if it is within me, I know that I'm striving. I want a certain level of faith. I want to attain it, but I'm still not there yet. How do you think that it will be easy for me to live Islam with the level that I'm able to operate in, and then still portray Islam the way it's supposed to be? Sister Afsa.
Alhamdulillah. There's something that's basic about living Islam and being a Muslim. And that is, Islam is not difficult. Islam is subtle. Islam makes things as easy as possible for you. Like Sister Rashida had mentioned, there are rules and regulations, but these rules and regulations are not specific, streamlined to one individual and all individuals. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all-knowing. He knows you. He knows your limits. He has given you the barakah to live your life. But you now don't derail too far from those rules and regulations that are stipulated.
So, may I chip in something? You know, Allah says in the Quran, I have revealed the religion to you, and I would never, I didn't bring it up to burden anyone.
Yeah.
So, when we are living with this bottom line, Allah is not giving us this religion as a burden on us. Then it becomes clear to us that, okay, as much as we can, we need to meet some basic requirements, which is our faraid and being good. But then every other thing surrounding it, Allah left it to us to choose. So then we can't say, okay, I can't do this, I can't do that. You need to do the basic things. But then Allah didn't put Islam for us just to burden us or to make it difficult. And it's quite easy. It just means that we need to put in effort. What you can't do yesterday, it doesn't mean you'll not be able to do it tomorrow. Just continue to put in the effort. Allahu A'lam.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much, my sisters. That was quite enlightening. Now, this is our opinion. This is the basic opinion. We feel that living Islam means that you do just what you are capable of doing. Striving is the word here. Let us listen to Professor Oladosho, what he has to say regarding living Islam.
What do we expect to see in a Muslim in order for us to understand that that essentially is Islam? The very first point of reference for us will be the Quran. A scholar in Oxford University, his name is Kenneth Craig, he says Islam is the Quranically guided religion, while the Quran is the Islamically revealed book. In other words, when you talk about Islam, you should keep in mind that you're actually talking about Islam and about the Quran. So when you talk about the Quran, you're actually referencing Islam, let your actions be in conformity with the Quran. When I sleep, I sleep according to Islam. When I walk according to Islam. When I talk according to Islam. When I wear a clothes, I ask myself first of all, does this clothes conform with Islam? In order for you to understand that, I want to call our attention to 4 features of Islam, which should guide your actions. The first one is to know that Islam is a universal religion. The second point for you to know, to bear in mind, is for you to know that Islam is a comprehensive religion. The third factor for you to know with reference to living Islam is for you to know that Islam is a practical religion. And the fourth one is for you to keep in mind that Islam is an historical religion. So when we pick the first element, which I hinted at, and that is comprehensiveness of Islam. In the Quran 6 verse 32, Allah says, "Ma farratna fil kitabi min shay." There's nothing that has been left unsaid in the Quran. In other words, when you talk about the world being a product, the world being a product produced by a producer, the producer is Almighty Allah, the product is Allah, it's the world, then it follows that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has knowledge of everything in the world, then it means that the religion that he would have chosen for humanity should not suffer certain inadequacy, should be a complete religion. Islam takes care of your faith, that which you can't see. Islam talks about your physiology, that which can be seen. Islam talks about eschatology, that which would occur after your death. Islam talks about your mutual interaction in the society. A Muslim would live Islam, will live according to the religion of Islam, will manifest what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has requested him to manifest if he relates properly with Allah. How do we do that? Worship Allah. Your relationship, you are the center of the triangle, you want to relate with Allah, the first thing you have to do is to have that worship, that belief in him, that he is the one who created the heavens and the earth. The second point is that he is not, you can't see him. The third point is that though you can't see him, he is there with you. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ says, worship Allah as you see him. Though you can't see him, he sees you everywhere and wherever you are.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. You're welcome back. This is still Islam is Beautiful. Now, we have heard from the authority that Islam is not a religion that will burden you. Islam is not a religion that would force you to do anything you do not want to do. My sisters and I are here. We are trying this is still striving, and I believe very strongly, Sister Shakira, I know that it wasn't easy getting to this point that you had to do. You're a mother, a doctor, and you have a lot of things around. You have a dream. Now, there are so many people out there who are yet to understand this fact. What word would you give them as a last word?
Alhamdulillah. Well, as I said, anything about life, living Islam, you've already said, is striving in the cause of Almighty Allah. When you already know that your essence of living, the verse of the Quran says that man and jinn have not been created for anything but to worship Allah. Once you know that your essence of being created is to worship Allah, so you'll all strive. My being a mother is part of my striving towards achieving the Rahmah of Allah. As a wife is also as to get the Rahmah of Allah, and as a doctor to also say that I'm striving to get other people happy through my work. So everything boils down to actually striving towards the cause of Allah.
Alhamdulillah. Sister Zoshida and Sister Afsa, thank you so much. May Allah reward you for coming on this program. And inshallah, you'll be seeing more of us on this program. Islam is indeed beautiful. We'll move on to our next segment, and that is the Read a Book segment. We have a book for you today. What does it mean to be a Muslim?
Today on Read a Book, we will recommend to you this beautiful 234-page book titled, What Does It Mean to Be a Muslim? Written by Fatih Yakan. According to this book, to live Islam according to the Quran and the Sunnah, these cardinal points are paramount. To be a Muslim in my creed. To be a Muslim in my worship. To be a Muslim in my morals. To be a Muslim in my household. To overcome the vain desires of myself. We hope that you pick up a copy and read more. Remember, readers are leaders.
Fortunate is he who remembers Allah abundantly. Worldly distractions cannot mildly sway his thoughts of Allah and Judgment Day.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, you're welcome back. Did you know facts today would go first? Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, you're welcome back. We believe that we have added value to you as a Muslim with what we have given to you today. Today, we have been able to showcase to you living Islam. And I believe that as you watch, and you will be able to adjust yourself and know where you need to change and add value to. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for you. You can like our page on Facebook, Islam is Beautiful. You can also visit our website, www.islamisbeautiful.net, and you can send us an email on islamisbeautiful01@gmail.com. I would like to emphasize here that from all we have said today, we are going to draw out a question, and this question will be made available to you immediately after this time out, and then you can send us your answer to win a Samsung phone if you get the answers correctly. The first person who answers the correct question will get the phone, inshallah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. I'll use this medium to say thank you so much. May Allah reward you abundantly and increase you in knowledge and iman. My sisters, I say Jazakumullah khairan. And on this note, we'll say bye-byes. I believe very much that you'll join us again next week for another beautiful and enlightening episode of this program, Islam is Beautiful. From my sisters and I, we say
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Fortunate is he who remembers Allah abundantly. Worldly distractions cannot mildly sway his thoughts of Allah and Judgment Day.